On May 7, 2025, the world watched with bated breath as tensions between India and Pakistan escalated dramatically. The air was thick with anticipation and fear as people across the globe tuned into their television screens, radios, and social media feeds, seeking updates on the unfolding crisis. The border between these two nuclear-armed neighbors had always been a flashpoint, but recent events had pushed the situation to a boiling point. Soldiers patrolled the tense boundary, their eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of movement, while diplomatic channels buzzed with urgent communications. Operation Sindoor, a series of airstrikes launched by the Indian Air Force, pierced the fragile peace that had held for years. The skies roared with the sound of fighter jets, and the ground shook with the force of explosions in the mountainous terrain. The precision and intensity of the strikes were a testament to the meticulous planning and execution by the Indian military. This operation, its name a chilling reminder of the vermilion powder signifying marriage for Hindu women, was India's response to a horrific terror attack in Indian-administered Kashmir. The attack had left the nation in mourning, and the airstrikes were seen as a necessary measure to dismantle the terror networks responsible. The world held its breath, wondering if this was the spark that would ignite a larger conflagration. Anxious crowds gathered around television screens, their faces etched with worry and uncertainty. International news outlets ran continuous coverage, analyzing every detail and speculating on the potential repercussions. The strikes, targeting what India claimed were terrorist infrastructure sites linked to Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba, marked a significant escalation in the decades-long conflict. The targeted buildings, now reduced to rubble, were said to house key operatives and resources of these militant groups. The world watched, hoping for restraint, but bracing for the worst. Leaders from around the globe engaged in urgent discussions, seeking ways to de-escalate the situation and prevent a full-scale war. The tension was palpable, and the stakes had never been higher. The seeds of Operation Sindoor were sown in tragedy. On April 22, 2025, a horrific terror attack ripped through the serene beauty of Indian-administered Kashmir. 26 innocent lives, most of them tourists, were brutally cut short. The attack, a grim reminder of the volatile security situation in the region, sent shockwaves through India. The attackers, believed to be affiliated with Pakistan-based terror groups, struck at the heart of India's tourism industry and its claim to normalcy in the troubled region. The nation mourned, united in grief and outrage, demanding justice for the victims. In the early hours of May 7, 2025, India launched Operation Sindoor. This operation was a significant military maneuver aimed at neutralizing threats emanating from across the border. Indian Air Force jets, armed with precision-guided munitions, roared across the line of control, their engines echoing through the valleys below. The line of control, the de facto border dividing Indian and Pakistani-controlled Kashmir, has long been a flashpoint for conflict. Their targets, 9 sites identified by Indian intelligence as training camps and logistical hubs used by terrorist groups operating from within Pakistan. These sites were believed to be the nerve centers for planning and executing attacks on Indian soil. The strikes, meticulously planned and executed, sent a clear message to Pakistan. India would no longer tolerate its territory being used as a launchpad for terrorism. The precision of the strikes demonstrated India's advanced military capabilities and its resolve to protect its sovereignty. India would no longer tolerate its territory being used as a launchpad for terrorism. The operation was a testament to India's commitment to safeguarding its citizens and maintaining national security. The operation, however, came with its own set of risks, including the potential for escalation into a larger conflict. The Indian military had to be prepared for any retaliatory actions from Pakistan, threatening to unravel the fragile peace between the two nuclear-armed nations. The operation underscored the delicate balance of power in the region. Diplomatic channels were on high alert, working tirelessly to prevent further escalation and to bring both nations back to the negotiating table. As with all conflicts, the fog of war descended quickly, obscuring the true cost of Operation Sindoor. India, maintaining that it had taken every precaution to avoid civilian casualties, reported that its strikes had neutralized the intended targets. Pakistan, however, painted a different picture, claiming that the strikes had resulted in significant civilian casualties, including women and children. The conflicting claims, impossible to verify independently amidst the chaos, served only to heighten the tension and sow further mistrust between the two sides. The true human cost of Operation Sindoor, like so many conflicts before it, may never be fully known. Section 5. Military Responses, Escalation and Restraint. The immediate aftermath of Operation Sindoor saw a flurry of military activity on both sides of the border. Pakistan, vowing to respond forcefully to what it deemed an act of aggression, launched retaliatory artillery strikes across the line of control. These strikes, while causing damage to infrastructure, were largely symbolic, a show of force designed to demonstrate Pakistan's resolve. India, while maintaining a heightened state of alert, refrained from escalating the conflict further. The world watched anxiously, hoping that both sides would prioritize restraint and avoid a descent into all-out war. Section 6. The world reacts, calls for calm and condemnation. The international community reacted to Operation Sindoor with a mixture of concern and condemnation. The United Nations, through its Secretary General, called for both sides to exercise maximum restraint and engage in dialogue to de-escalate the situation. Global powers, including the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union, echoed these sentiments, urging India and Pakistan to step back from the brink. The international community recognized the volatile situation in South Asia and the devastating consequences of a full-blown conflict between two nuclear-armed states. The world looked on, hoping that diplomacy would prevail. Section 7. Life under fire. Impact on local communities. While the world focused on the geopolitical implications of Operation Sindoor, the people living along the line of control bore the brunt of the escalating tensions. The daily lives of these communities were upended, as the constant threat of violence forced them to adapt to a new, harsh reality. In villages and towns on both sides of the border, the sounds of artillery fire and the fear of further escalation became a part of daily life. The once peaceful nights were now filled with the echoes of conflict, making sleep a luxury few could afford. Schools were closed, businesses shuttered, and families huddled in their homes, seeking refuge from the uncertainty. The local economy suffered as markets remained empty, and the usual hustle and bustle of daily life came to a standstill. The conflict, as always, disproportionately affected the most vulnerable. Children missed out on education, and the elderly struggled without access to essential services. Women, children, and the elderly faced particular hardship as essential services were disrupted and the specter of violence loomed large. The lack of medical facilities and the scarcity of food and water added to their woes. Their plight served as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. The resilience of these communities, however, shone through as they supported each other in these trying times, showcasing the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. Section 8. Economic Tremors, the Price of Conflict. Operation Sindoor sent ripples through the global economy. The Indian rupee dipped, reflecting investor anxiety over the potential for prolonged conflict. Pakistan, already grappling with economic challenges, faced renewed pressure as international lenders and investors reassessed the risks associated with the volatile region. The conflict underscored the interconnectedness of the global economy and the far-reaching consequences of even localized conflicts. The world watched, hoping for a swift resolution, but bracing for the potential economic fallout. Section 9. A Troubled Legacy, the Kashmir Conundrum. Operation Sindoor served as a stark reminder of the unresolved issues that have plagued India-Pakistan relations since their independence in 1947. The disputed region of Kashmir, claimed in its entirety by both countries but divided between them, remains a flashpoint, a powder keg that threatens to ignite a larger conflagration. The international community, recognizing the intractable nature of the dispute, called for a peaceful resolution through dialogue. Whether such a resolution is achievable remains to be seen. One thing, however, is certain. The path to peace in South Asia runs through Kashmir.